Everything about this game was crazy, and the Fever barely defeated the Sparks. Family, Kayla is prepared to run the floor. "No, what is this, man?" she asks. "What is this bullshit?" When they actually invoked the reset timeout, Caitlin Clark's response was as follows. It was unbelievable to her. When she claims that a referee was attempting to award the game to the Sparks, they instantly name her MAGA. The most recent game between the Indiana Fever and the Sparks ended in complete anarchy. Due to Sydney Colson's post yesterday, the Indiana Fever are now making jokes and presuming everything will be all right. A frantic ending, missed calls, and dubious refereeing decisions infuriated players and fans. Everything about this game was crazy, and the Fever barely defeated the Sparks. What was intended to be just another late-season matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Los Angeles Sparks swiftly became a contentious game. Last night, Kelsey Mitchell gave a terrible whistle. Kelsey also frequently drove to the hoop. It seems like she goes through a lot of defenders, and she wasn't receiving any calls. She just wasn't up to this. The officiating felt unbalanced from the first few minutes, driving into contact with a Fever and receiving no calls. The case of Kelsey Mitchell was the most obvious example. She repeatedly targeted the basket and took a lot of hits, but the whistle never made a sound. Existence, in order to receive the same recognition as other celebrities, I will require Kelsey Mitchell. I'll even think about enlisting my sister to have her office file charges because of the crazy way she is abused. Not receiving the same appreciation as other stars was unavoidable for a player who leads the league in scoring. It wasn't just Mitchell, though. In the end, she recorded a career-high 22 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 6 steals. Even though she finished with a monstrous stat line of 22 points, 11 rebounds, and a career-high 6 steals, Aaliyah Boston still had times when she just didn't get calls. Next to Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Steph White, the queen of the tech committee, Lexi Hull took her proper place yesterday night. One of the league's most composed players, Lexi Hull, became enraged at the inadequate treatment of the Fever and ended up receiving her first technical of the season. Incredibly strange conclusion. With just 1.9 seconds remaining, the referee permitted 2 fouls and 1 reset timeout. After getting off to a chilly start, AB put up a masterclass. We'll discuss that later, Odyssey Sims. Kelsey Mitchell's night was not this one. However, since there is only one referee, I want to address them first. We must absolutely look for this guy's betting slips right here. Since it seemed like he did not want to let the Fever ruin this victory, he made the final 1.9 seconds endure nearly 5 minutes, which is why I believe his name is similar to Aunagazi. He was merely saying, "No, no, no," after allowing them to call a reset timeout. It's a foul. The final 1.9 seconds of the game were the height of the turmoil. Rather than allowing the clock to run out, the referees interjected in confusing ways, allowing a reset timeout before turning the call into a foul, effectively extending a few seconds into nearly 5 minutes. Fans were in disbelief. Even Caitlin Clark was unable to contain her anger as the players were furious. When they actually invoked the reset timeout, Caitlin Clark's response was as follows. It was unbelievable to her. No one could accept it. Rickea Jackson receives the ball when they inbound it, throws it to Kelsey, and Kelsey sort of loses it. The game is saved when AB catches it. She was seen on camera raising her hands in shock and then approaching the officials directly to express her emotions after the game. Everyone could see that this was more than simply careless officiating. The referees seemed to be doing all in their power to slant the game against Indiana. And that's just what prompted Sydney Colson to vent her annoyance in public, igniting the ensuing conflagration. Sid Colson even discussed it on Twitter, stating, "I'm going to require Kelsey Mitchell to receive the same whistle as other stars at some time in the league's existence. Actually, the way she is abused is crazy, and I've thought of enlisting my sister to help her file a report." Sydney Colson quickly expressed what many others in the Fever locker room were already thinking after the final bell. She sent a statement on social media that quickly gained popularity. "I believe Kelsey Mitchell should receive the same recognition as other celebrities. It's crazy how she's attacked. I've thought of enlisting my sister to have her office look into the matter. I'm going to need Kelsey Mitchell to receive the same recognition as other stars at some point in this league's history. It's crazy how she's attacked. Additionally, I've thought about enlisting my sister to have charges brought by her office. She just has a great sense of humor and occasionally cracks jokes. Despite the fact that this was somewhat humorous, there was a serious tone, such as criticizing the referees for the Indiana Fever's officiating, which I believe she now understands because she is a member of the team. And believe me when I say that this team remains cohesive. Even though Colson is known for her sense of humor, this time the sarcasm was a bit harsh. Fans were aware that what appeared to be a jest was actually a biting indictment of the officiating that had suppressed the Fever throughout the season. They call her MAGA right away, after she claims that a referee was attempting to give Sparks the game. As the referee attempted to award the game to Sparks, she was clapping back at the supporters, saying, "These are the people who would have been so much better, you know?" The responses exploded in minutes. Some claim that she has changed since becoming involved in the Fever. Others make fun of her word choice, even calling her a Majid for having the audacity to call out officials. It's right here, you see. Be cautious, Caitlin. You will be penalized. If someone answers, I'll cover the cost. Agree. I will help with the fine, replies Lyndon. I adore it, Caitlin. Listen to Lynn, everyone. The response, however, was entirely different within the Fever family. Staff and teammates came together in support of her. With a warning that says it all, Caitlin Clark even joined into the conversation. Be careful, you will be penalized. It was a truthful moment. We all know Sid Colson. Sid Colson's Twitter. Fingers are terminal. She hasn't changed at all this season, or any season for that matter. She wasn't mistaken. Clark was aware of the league's history. This season, the Fever have received more fines than nearly any other team, frequently for making even the tiniest remarks regarding refereeing. But Colson refused to give up. Instead, she stepped up her game, clapping back at detractors and making it plain that she was done remaining silent. Caitlin Clark actually takes to the court after the game to vent her frustrations to the referee. However, wow, she was really frigid to begin with. The first quarter appeared to be a terrible one. Careful, you're going to get fined, Caitlin. Clark's prompt remark to Sydney Colson wasn't merely a kind caution. It exposed the WNBA's more complex reality. It appears that the league is prepared to impose penalties and fines on the Indiana Fever at any time. It was basically brick after brick, and the entire game was just plain nasty. I mean, Indiana only managed to score 13 points in the third quarter. Only 11 points were scored by the Sparks. After all, it was really unpleasant. But Aaliyah, Boston left for work. Players from other teams are free to express their frustrations. But when a Fever player, particularly one who supports Clark, does so, the repercussions are severe and immediate. Fines aren't the only topic of discussion these days. Fear of an even more severe punishment, like as suspension, has into the discussion as Colson has doubled down against referees and fans who claim she has changed since joining the Fever. Family, Kayla is prepared to run the floor. No, what is this, man? She asks. What is this bullshit? The shot was then given a score of 0. 1, family, 1 on the shot clock. What are we doing? Man, what are we doing? This isn't the first time that the Fever has been attacked after all. For merely implying that another player got a favorable whistle, Sophie Cunningham was punished. Exasperated by the continuous lack of calls, even Lexi Hall received a technical foul. There is no denying the pattern. The standards in Indiana are different. Man, oh my God. Family, they tried their hardest to achieve victory in this one. It's absurd. However, Caitlin Clark isn't fleeing the situation. She made 2 signals by entering the conversation. She knows how serious the situation is for Colson, and she is committed to supporting her teammate. In any case, I honestly believe that they have had double-digit findings, but this entire exchange encapsulates the Indiana Fever's feelings regarding the refs, the finding issue, and everything else. That leadership is important. Clark has come to represent the Fever's struggle against a system that seems to be biased against them as well as against rival teams. And Colson wasn't supposed to be silenced by her warning. It was intended to highlight the serious consequences of speaking up. It is crucial to realize that Colson's criticism of the referees is not a unique incident. It's a component of a larger conflict that dates back to Caitlin Clark. It's frightening to wake up with such hatred, but have a wonderful day, she continued. According to this individual, Life My Butt says Kelsey Mitchum and Star don't belong in the same sentence. Whoa, she entered. The WNBA's traditional fan base and even some players have been intent on discrediting anyone connected to her ever since she joined the league. According to one analysis, Colson wasn't attacked until she joined Caitlyn's team. Whistles are not the only aspect of the bias. It's about power and who gets to decide how the league develops. Nevertheless, this pressure has made them closer rather than less. The club is aware that the league, the referees, and even some fans are against them, according to the transcripts. Man, he's been involved in it all year. Oh my God. What was his name? Jack. What? What do you say? An Abazi with a gun. An Abazi with a gun. This man is a devilish asset to the WNBA, man. He's wagering that someone will be granted disgrace bail. However, that has created a strong us versus the world mentality. Boston's supremacy, Hull's fire, Colson's tweet, and Clark's warning. These incidents collectively demonstrate that the fever isn't abating. Every unjust whistle and every fear of punishment, if anything, is further strengthening them. How many fans have turned against Natasha Howard? Perhaps they weren't her admirers before, but now they're anti-Tash Howard? Ultimately, this is about more than one game or tweet. It's about a group of people who won't be quiet. Sydney Colson exposed the reality. Caitlin Clark gave her a warning in support. They completed 1.6 seconds of a shot clock in 5 minutes. Man, hurry up! What are we doing? Man, what are we doing? This is absurd. Complete bullshit, dude. Blatantly dishonest. Dog, hurry up. Give it to us. It was this guy right here, to be honest. Well, this guy was right here. Additionally, based on my observations, the individual has participated in contentious calls throughout the year. Together, the Fever demonstrated their refusal to accept unfair treatment. The league is wrong if they believe that penalties or sanctions will violate them. This team is unified, motivated, and prepared to demonstrate that referee bias cannot stop what they're doing.